Hello there, my fine people of YouTube. How are you guys doing today? Today I've got a game of survival games for you guys in Minecraft. This is immensely fun. If you at all are a Hunger Games fanatic and love the Hunger Games, there is no doubt that I strongly recommend this to anybody who likes Hunger Games. And I still recommend it to anybody who hasn't read it. I discovered this from my girlfriend about 3 months ago, and we have a lot of fun on it. I have a lot of fun. This is me playing solo. I'm gonna probably come out with a video where I'm playing with her, so keep an eye out for that. But some other stuff about me: I'm going to a summer school. It's not like a boring summer school. It's actually quite fun. It's not a remedial course where it's like math or English. I would never do one of those because for one reason, I'm not somebody to fail a course in some regards. Yeah, it's people fail, but I don't feel like I'm one person that would fail a lot. And on the other hand, I would choose a course that I would have fun at. And this is a really fun course. I'm taking studio music production. And for anybody who doesn't know what studio music production is pretty much producing music in a studio. You have a soundboard, you have a program. In my case, we're using Cubase, but I also have the ability to bring in my own computer and use GarageBand since I have a Mac, which actually works pretty well. It's a pretty good program. It's got about the same things as Cubase does. So if you're on a Mac and you want to produce music, it's easy enough just to use GarageBand right away. You don't need to go for Logic Pro X, the new version that they came out with. If you have Logic or the old Logic, you're probably fine with that for now. But there's also things like Logic Pro X, which they just came out with. But that's not particularly the reason why I'm creating a video today. I'm creating a video because I've had an interesting day today. Today being July 17th, 2013. It's a Wednesday. What ends up happening, it's an event that happened on public transit today on my way home. I take public transit to and from the school that I'm attending for summer school. The story starts, it's an interesting story, and it could have ended much worse. Today's story starts out with I run across the street to snag a bus. I was with some friends, and they were in no rush to get home, but I kind of wanted to. It was a hot day, and it felt like for the news is announcing that it felt like 40 degrees Celsius, which is probably well into 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And I just kind of wanted to get home where it's nice and cold, and yeah, just pretty much just get home. I get on the bus, and I'm one of the last people on the bus, and the bus is full. So the driver goes to the next stop, but he skips it because the bus is full, so he doesn't allow anybody to get on. After that, we go to the next stop. Again, the bus is full, he doesn't allow anybody to get on, but at this stop, something interesting happens. A kid, approximately 17 years old, runs out in front of the bus trying to get on the bus. He's about 2 meters away from the bus, and the bus is still moving. This kid is pretty much jaywalking. He is in the crosswalk, but he's not. He doesn't have the right of way in this scenario. Technically, in Canada, or at least in Ontario, pedestrians have the ultimate right of way, which I don't necessarily agree with. But this kid is about 2 meters away from the bus, and the bus didn't stop at the stop, so it's still going. And I think this kid might have thought that the bus was going to stop. It didn't. And this kid gets hit by the bus. Now, this kid is very lucky. Let me tell you one thing. He is extremely lucky. He's hit by the right side of the bus. The bus driver does try to honk his horn and stop the bus. Unfortunately, it's too late. I was in the front of the bus. I saw what happened. This is why I can report this to you. So I request that I get off the bus immediately by the bus driver. I have first aid training. I've received first aid training. So I get off the bus, go check up on the kid. He seems to want to get away. He also seems very dazed. So I go over to the kid and ask if he's all right, and he seems to be all right. And what's very lucky is that he only sustains some scrape on his right arm, which the paramedics just wrapped up. And the paramedics come. I flag him down. The paramedics come in. I alert them to what's happened and tell them where the kid is. The kid goes with the paramedics. Like I said, they wrap up his wound, and he comes out to get his statement, to write down his statement. At the same, just about 2 minutes after the paramedics arrive, the police start to arrive. Now, with the police arriving, I flag them down as well. Even though the bus is pretty much in the middle of an intersection, stopped. I flag them down to alert them. And then the next part of my story is a bit interesting. I'll start off with saying that there are people who do civil disobedience on YouTube. And what civil disobedience is sticking very, and the way I'm going to term it, is that people who take part in civil disobedience they're an interesting type of people. They will videotape what they are doing, or if they encounter a police officer, and they pretty much stick to their rights. For example, people will open carry a firearm and record when they are encountered by the police. Now, open carry in the United States in most places is legal, but you got to be aware there are places which just don't allow it. So you gotta think about what you're doing sometimes. And I don't agree that you should be partaking in civil disobedience all the time. But there are some advantages to what they do. They video record what they take. And how is this tying into my story? Well, the first police officer that I talked to doesn't want anything to do with me, to be honest. He's just like, I try to talk to him, he takes on this professional pose and doesn't want to talk to me. He's just pretty much ignores me. So I don't know what he was going on with, and it's unfortunate that he did that, because now I'm kind of talking about it, and I don't think it represents the police in my area very well. And there are people who just don't like the police in general. That's one reason for taking civil disobedience. And I find the people that take part in civil disobedience are people that believe that big government is bad, and that if you have big government, you lose all your rights and you lose everything. Now, it's not particularly true, and there's advantages and disadvantages to both. And I'm not well educated on which is better, or I haven't particularly came up with my own opinion. But I personally would think that, well, maybe a smaller government is a bit better. I don't think Obama is the right guy for the United States. That's my personal opinion. Even though where I live, people absolutely love Obama. I personally just don't know. I don't particularly know, but I don't think Obama is the right guy. I don't know who is the right guy, to be honest. So we'll have to wait and see what happens for the rest of his term. Hopefully nothing bad happens. Hopefully. I don't know. So that's kind of where I stand politically. I'm not particularly sure who to support. And then back to the story. Another police officer arrives, and this other police officer is much more open. He wants to I approach him and I say hello and tell him what's happened, and he's much more willing to listen and kind of talk. Which I think if a police officer talks, that's a big thing. So he talks, and I shake hands with him, and he ends up giving me a I can't think of the word. Something where I write down a statement paper where I have to write down my statement. So I take the paper, write down my statement, pretty much say what I told you guys. I don't feel, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I don't feel that the bus driver was at fault. That's how I think. That's what I feel. It was the kid kind of ran out in front of the bus driver, and the bus driver didn't have time to react. So that's what I personally think happened. It's kind of getting back onto that topic of why did this police officer kind of just ignore me? I don't think anybody would want to have a police officer ignore them. You can go on YouTube and look up things like civil disobedience and police harassment and things like that. And to be honest, in some cases, the police believe what they're doing is correct, and I can't blame them. They're doing their job. They're doing what they think is their job. But there's also times on YouTube where it's just absolutely ridiculous what the police do. And those are the police that should be fired from their job just because they can't obey or the necessary laws, or just don't do don't do it respectfully, and they have this, they're kind of the lust for power. I don't think all police officers are bad. I know that there are plenty of great police officers out there that want to do their job and do it well, and you can see many examples on YouTube. And on YouTube, you can also see it. You can see just about everything. So from the good, the bad, and the ugly. The ugly being like, for example, there's inland border patrol checks in the United States. Okay. In the United States, you have the right to travel freely without having to show any papers. Now, people take this very literally, and what seems to happen at these checkpoints is that they ask for your citizenship, but they also ask to search your car. Okay, so they ask to search your car. And they can't particularly suspect you of anything, so you can say no, not without a warrant. And personally, I think if I was in a situation like that, I would say no, you cannot search my car without a warrant. That's my personal opinion. So this game is coming to an end. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, leave a comment down in the description below. Remember to subscribe. It helps me out a lot. More subscribers means more content personally. Because if I see the people there, I'll make more stuff for them. So that's just the way I kind of feel. And give this video a thumbs up. That also just shows me that you guys like what you see. Leave a comment down below of what you want to see. I will make sure that I kind of come out with that type of stuff. But some things to keep in mind: the One World Youth Arts Project. That is the music production course I am in. Keep an eye out for that. I'm gonna try to create a video of the guy who came up with the program and my teacher, just in an interview. So keep an eye out for that, guys. And unfortunately, I'll let you guys watch this as I think it's obvious what happens in this. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys have a good time. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe, and peace. See you guys later.